What's going on, folks? I'm Perler Dad. In this video we'll be doing a Sailor Moon Perler Bead Art. Hope you guys like it. Now I just want you to know that I'm kinda new at doing this, and well, I welcome all suggestions in the future. Maybe perhaps next time I'll include a link or maybe even a photo of the actual image that I'm working on. Now obviously, as you can see, I did run out of room, so I had to improvise and basically just move it a little bit up and add in an extra couple of pegboards just to complete the artwork. You know, a part of me does kind of wish they did sell a bigger pegboard. I don't know if they do. I've tried searching it up myself, but if anyone has any suggestions, or maybe if anyone has any idea of where they actually do sell a bigger board, you know, feel free to share a comment down below. By the way, folks, I did put in the colors that I used in the description box, so that way you guys are aware of which ones I am using. Unfortunately, I did not put in the number of beads that I used. Quite frankly, I wasn't counting them, so. But yeah, just to let you know, the colors are in there. As I was working on the face, I wasn't feeling the sand color, so I kind of had to stop and redo it and change it up a bit. I did have to go through at least maybe 2 or 3 different colors before I got the right one, which was peach. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to doing stuff like this. You kind of have to play with your colors to see what goes and what matches, because in the end, once you kind of take a step back and look at it, you know, you'll appreciate it a lot better. Now comes the tape method. For all you bead fanatics out there, y'all know what the tape method is. For those who don't, basically what I'm doing is I'm taping down my beads so they stay in place so I can transfer them off the board. Reason being is that you never want to iron on top of the boards. They have a tendency of warping, and it's never a good thing because you always gotta buy new ones, and it's just an expense you don't need. Yeah, this is the part that I don't like. But I still do it either way. Now, if you have a better way of transferring the beads off the board, I just basically just put the board and the mat, and I basically just flip it. Like I said, people do have different ways of going about it. This is just my way. If you have any suggestions, feel free to share them with me. You'll notice here that I had a little bit of a snafu. Not that big of a deal. It's an easy quick fix. I mean, I've seen other people where they have bigger tragedies and they have to redo the whole project, but nothing that is out of the norm when it comes to doing stuff like this. Again, this is just my method of removing the boards off the actual project. I know some people do it differently, but you know, to each their own. Yes, success. Now all we have to do is just add the two halves together and we should be good to go to start ironing. Obviously, as you guys may have noticed, I did add in these 3 extra bead sections of clear, and reason for doing that is that during the project I kind of decided to make a base for it. Now we can start ironing, and you can use these sheets that Perler does sell, or you can use parchment paper. You know, it works just about the same. The good thing about using your parchment paper is you can roll out the length that you need to fit your project. Grab yourself a household iron, nothing too fancy or special. Don't add water, and set it to a medium-high heat. That's just the way I do it. And as you can see, I don't press down on my iron. I feel as though it's not necessary. I let the weight of the iron do all the work for me. And why I don't have it at a high heat is, well, I like to take my time. I just want to make sure that everything does fuse together correctly, and that's just a method that I go by. I'm pretty sure other people would do it differently, but I say whatever works for you. Now that we're done ironing, you can add some weight to the project so that way it can come out flat when it's cooling. You can put anything you want on it, like your old high school yearbook, a board, some weights, anything you have laying around the house. Just give it some weight, you know. And we're gonna give this maybe about half an hour to an hour, give or take. As we're waiting, remember I told you that I wanted to make a base for this project? Well, while that's cooling, let's go ahead and work on that base right now. The base that I'm working on is, I think, a Sailor Moon symbol. Forgive me if I don't know the actual name of it. My wife is a big fanatic of Sailor Moon. She's the real reason why I'm doing this project for her. But basically I figured it would be something nice for her to stand on, and what better way than her own symbol itself. Once you're done with that, we can go ahead and do the tape method once again, and we're just going to follow the same procedures that we did before, basically taping it up and flipping it over. I'm not gonna get too much into the ironing because, well, you already saw me do it and you already have my opinions of how I iron and how you can go about it as well. Now, just like before, we're going to go ahead and remove the board off the piece and we're going to iron it and wait for it to cool down. Once it's cooled down, you can go ahead and do an unveiling, take a gander at your work, and man, does it look awesome. The colors on this just looks amazing. Now, truth be told, if this wasn't for my wife, I would definitely keep this for myself to put along with the rest of my art collection. But it's for her. And I know she's gonna love it. She's gonna be ecstatic when she sees it. Now, I did let the other piece cool down as well, and if you notice, I did remove a couple of beads in the middle just to make sure that the figure and the base can go connected together. And for extra security, I ironed both sides. One other thing is I made a second base, but this one's a solid color. Reason for doing that is to give it extra support. Same thing, removing the beads in the middle. And basically we're gonna just put this together, and we're gonna do this off screen with our trusty hot glue gun. And it can be a regular glue gun, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Folks, a Sailor Moon Perler Bead artwork with base, and I don't know, came out looking amazing. I think everything came together and it worked out just great. Oh, I did make these little stubbies that I put at the bottom. They're also made out of beads. I did those off camera, and maybe on my next video I'll go into more detail on how I do these things, but overall everything came out great, no issues whatsoever. Oh, who am I kidding? Look, I added a little stick just to make sure it stood up straight. I cheated, okay? But it still worked out. Anyways, it's an awesome piece and it came out great. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and thanks for watching.